did get the same kind of offers, jahan
हाँ.
oh, you're just heroine's sister and you're doing nothing else, but
Hmm.
you're around. So I have said no. I have said no to many such roles. I waited it out, and I was 100% sure कि कभी ना कभी कुछ तो ये होगा, the things that I want to do. To be directed by Aryan, it was a lot of fun. He's the youngest director I've worked with.
Yeah.
So passionate about his work.
The guilt is very real. All of us do it. It's guilty pleasure only because you're staring at your screen and and you do feel guilty because ki, what am I doing? Why am I addicted to this? And I think that this is also a kind of addiction. This is
Hmm.
very much an addiction that the whole world is facing.
Good afternoon. This is Sarika Sharma, editor Entertainment Moneycontrol. Joining us today are the incredibly talented Mona Singh and Kunal Roy Kapur, the lead duo of Thode Door Thode Paas, a heartwarming new series that reminds us that sometimes to truly connect, we need to disconnect. The show beautifully explores family bonds, emotional distance, and the idea of a digital detox in today's hyper-connected world. And let's hear from them about this refreshing story and what it means to be reconnected. Welcome to Money Control.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Uh, okay, so your show is talking about the idea that in order to connect, we have to disconnect. What did this concept actually? Why did this concept actually personally resonate with you, with both of you, and why did you say yes?
For the right reasons. We all we all are disconnected from each other, ma'am. That is the problem. And we
Yeah.
all are aware but doing nothing about it. We are living
Mm,
in this bubble, in this constant rush, this constant addiction with the head down community. Everybody is busy on their phones, and I don't know what's happening. Making
uh,
connections outside but not looking within and not looking around
uh,
you. So I think this show is. I felt it's very relevant and it resonated with me. I instantly, just said yes after reading the script because there's a need for these kind of shows
yeah.
where the family can sit together, have a good time, and also reflect upon their lives, what they're doing. Just
Mm,
pause a little, understand where we are headed, and what are we doing? Are we really establishing our connections with our family, or we are just running around anywhere else in the world and getting involved there? So
yeah.
social media, phones, gadgets have taken over our lives like how? So I was more than happy
Uh,
to read the script and then to be a part of it. And of course, the cast, Pankaj sir and Kunal, I'm a
mm,
big fan of their work. So I was
mm.
more than happy to say yes and be a part of this wonderful project.
Oh, sweet. And Kunal?
No, I mean, it's completely timely and relevant. I mean, everyone, as Mona said, has got their heads down into their phones, into their gadgets. And,
Mm,
we need to just pause and look up at each other from time to time. Um, I mean, I have kids and I feel that the internet and social media is such a large influence on their lives, who they are
mm,
as people, what they laugh at, and that directly affects my relationship with them. It directly
uh,
affects how I can connect with them because there's this third party that is now influencing them so
yeah, you're
heavily.
right. Yeah.
So then I need to then either be up to date with what's going on so that I can connect with them,
Mm,
or we need to find some common ground because if
mm,
we can't make each other laugh and if we can't, if we don't have the same reference points, then how are we going to connect as a family or as
mm,
humans?
mm.
Or even politically, if we think differently, or what our morality is, if it's completely different. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of people around the
Huh.
world is that uh, they find it difficult to connect with their own grandparents because they're so ideologically different,
Mm,
and ideologically that change has occurred because of their experiences and exposure. So how do we reconnect? How do we find that common ground? So that's why when I read this, I was like, my God, this is happening to all humans across the world. It's
mm,
not
mm.
country specific. It's not
Right.
generation specific.
Yeah.
It's not only
Mm.
something that the young are dealing with. It's the older
We're
also
also
dealing
doing
with. We are also dealing my parents' generation is also dealing with it
it.
because they are
Mm.
also heavily influenced by social
Huh.
media and by WhatsApp forwards and by fake news and by AI images and now by AI videos. And how are they going to filter all this stuff?
Mm.
So I was like, my God, this is just something to tell everyone. Listen, this is not the way everything works. Yes, it's important. Yes, your work comes from here. Some friends are here,
Hmm.
but the truth lies in actual human connection. The truth lies in actually knowing and interacting and all of that. So yeah, I just think a show like this was completely apt for people to just get that pause and just say kya kar rahe hain bhai, like Mona said.
And there's a certain nostalgia also, if you would agree with me, कि gadget free time hoga, simpler life, where in fact your character in the promo I've seen, I've started watching the show now, that she's like सारे designs उस पे upload करने हैं ना, and you're like a lost person without your phone. And
Yeah.
Kunal also shouts at his father that when his daughter is not traceable, and he says कि आपकी वजह से हुआ है. So what was it? Did you actually feel guilty also that in real life you're like this, or was it like taking you back to that gadget-free time also?
Sorry, guilty about?
Guilty about being always connected on phone and you being dependent. जैसे पहले क्या होता था, हम फोन नंबर याद रखते थे, है ना?
Mm-hmm.
लेकिन अब तो ऐसा है ही नहीं. अब हमारे सिस्टम में तो फोन नंबर याद करना तो गायब हो गया.
See, I remember only the important phone numbers. My family,
हाँ.
उन सबके
हाँ.
phone numbers and my driver phone number. I remember. क्योंकि कभी अगर connection चला गया है ना, you will be lost. There's one thing my father told me, भाई important numbers तुम याद रख लो, rest don't care
हाँ.
about anything.
हाँ.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, we all feel guilty about spending time on screen. We
हाँ.
all do.
हाँ.
But we're doing nothing about that guilt. We all are aware कि अरे आज भी बहुत time spend कर लिया. But what are you
हाँ.
actually doing about it? So for
हम्म.
me, I think it is very important that on Sundays, our family, we keep the phone aside. It is family
अच्छा.
time. We spend the whole day together. We cook together, eat, listen to some nice music, sing along. गंदे गंदे गाने karaoke में गा देते हैं हम लोग. So that is our family time where nobody is, investing time on the phone or on the screen.
हाँ.
So we are talking bachpan ki yadein, we are eating, chilling together. And I think this kind of detox is very important
हम्म.
to connect again. So hence the line of the show, it's important to disconnect to connect actual connections.
Kunal?
Yeah, no, the guilt is very real. All of us do it. It's guilty pleasure only because you're staring at your screen and and you do feel guilty because ki, what am I doing? Why am I addicted to this? But I equate it to a lot with my addiction to sugar. I need sugar after every
हाँ.
meal. Like after everything, I need to have something sweet, whether it's dahi and sugar or whether anything, but I need something sweet and it's an addiction. And I think that this is also a kind of addiction. This is
हम्म.
very much an addiction that the whole world is facing. And I think the whole world needs to be in a digital addicts anonymous kind of group. And everyone needs to just like be everybody else's support group in a way,
हम्म.
because we're all kind of in some way or the other addicted or misled or delusional about how we're spending our time. So the guilt is there, but this show is the first step in acknowledging that it's a problem.
हम्म.
It's the first step in saying, ki, let us recognize this as a problem first, because I don't think many people even know that it's an issue. It's
Yeah.
like too much salt, too much sugar, diabetic. 40 years ago, we found out what was causing it. Now we know ki so many mental health issues, so much anxiety, so much not being able to get sleep is all related to what we're doing digitally, what our
हम्म.
digital life and our digital existence is. But we all need to realize that one of the root causes is our digital presence and our
हम्म.
digital addiction. So this is a show that's hopefully telling people that listen, it's a problem.
हम्म.
It's great. It's wonderful. We're able to do this Zoom call right now, which is wonderful. And it's great. And I can be doing 40 other things simultaneously on the side, which is
हाँ.
also fabulous. But it is also an issue, and it has its
Yeah.
place. So
Yeah.
so yeah. So that's what that's
Yeah.
the guilt that we need to first acknowledge. Yeah.
And Mona, talking about you, you've had a successful 2024, 2025. How do you reflect upon it? अब तो मतलब Bads of Bollywood हो गया, मिस्त्री हो गया, अब ये आ गया. अब क्या करना है? सब कुछ
I'm
एक ही,
doing this for the first time. I've never had 3 releases in a year.
है
Never.
ना?
So
Last year I spoke with you, तब आप बोल रहे थे कि आ जाएंगी
the
और
first
आप
मजा आ रहा है. Really, I'm enjoying it, and I'm very very thankful and grateful to the makers, to the casting directors for giving me these opportunities. You know, where no role is the same, no character is the same. It's
हम्म,
so, and that's what I crave for. That's what every actor craves for. You know, and I'm living that right now. So I.
या मतलब ऐसे कैसे हो जाता है? मोना सिंह जस्सी भी कर लेती है, मोना सिंह बैड्स ऑफ बॉलीवुड करती है, मिस्त्री में वो भी बन जाती है, इंस्पेक्टर भी बन जाते हैं, पुलिस ऑफिसर बन जाती हैं।
भी बनी हूँ और किलर भी बनी हूँ.
हाँ
So I'm having a blast. You see, all these things an actor can just dream of because most
हाँ
times, you know, an actor gets typecast, especially
हाँ
especially after a role like Jussie, you get
हाँ
typecast. Uh,
हाँ
after Three Idiots, I did get the same kind of offers. जहाँ पे,
हाँ
oh, you're just heroine sister and you're doing nothing else, but you're
हम्म
around. So I have said no. I have said no to many such roles, and I think
हम्म
because of saying no to those kind of roles that I didn't want to do, I got these opportunities. I waited it out, and I was 100% sure कि कभी ना कभी कुछ तो ये होगा, the things that I want to do. So I'm very happy that I'm still around and now doing OTT and movies. It's been 22 years and 22
या
beautiful years in the industry.
या एंड कुणाल, आपका यू ऑल्सो डन, एक तो दिल्ली बेली किया, फिर उसके बाद थोड़े फन रोल्स किए, थोड़े सीरियस भी किए। बैंडिश बैंडिट्स में आई रिमेम्बर योर डायलॉग ऑल्सो कि तुम तो दूध भी सच अच्छा नहीं पीते हो, रियल नहीं पीते हो, है ना? योर डायलॉग्स आर जस्ट अमेजिंग। सो ये वाला रोल और ये इतना मल्टीटास्किंग, हाउ डूइंग मल्टीपल रोल्स, लाइक मोना सेड कि स्टीरियो कास्ट टाइप कास्ट नहीं होना, हाउ डू यू मेंटेन दैट?
I generally I get cast in comic roles or
हम्म
roles which have a comic sort of element to them, even if they're not out and out. They're slightly on the funnier side. But within that, I think I try to find a lot of variation. So I
हम्म
try to find variation of like whether it is. Like you said, Bandish Bandits, he's a lot more verbose, out there, flashy. Whereas in like a Nautanki Sala, he's more inward, more
हम्म
scared, more introverted. Delhi Belly, he's like fully messy and like a gross, horrible,
हाँ
like a pervert kind of guy. But I'm saying so even within that, the aim is to not like while doing the same similar genre of like light-hearted comedy or whatever, but trying to find variation within that so that the character has that space to breathe and be different.
हम्म
Um, so so yeah, I mean, but I would love to do stuff that's in different genres, like a
हम्म
straight drama. But people, once they see you in a certain way, like
हम्म
we wouldn't want to see Johnny Lever as a serial killer, as a straight up serious serial, unless it's a comic serial killer, that's a
हम्म
separate thing. But a
हम्म,
straight, because it will break our hearts.
हाँ
We will feel no, I don't want to see him like that. I can't see him like that, and that I get that sentiment. We don't want to see people who have made us laugh so much do horrible, horrible, genuinely horrible things, and it's disturbing. It's disturbing. Like
हाँ
you don't want to see that. So that's I get that. I get that why that happens. But I'm saying
हम्म,
so for actors, sometimes you just need to find that nice balance of variation to say,
हम्म,
okay, I'm trying to just find some variety there. So I'm fortunate enough to have got some of those roles through my career, which I'm happy about.
yeah. And Mona, being directed by young directors, now a debutant director, Aryan Khan, how was it in Bads of Bollywood and now here in थोड़े दूर थोड़े पास? तो थोड़ा लगता है कि यार मैं तो सीनियर हूँ, मैं भी थोड़ा
Time.
एडवाइस दे दूँ।
कभी नहीं लगता मुझे, मैम. I still feel I'm in my 20s and I'm learning. I'm learning every single day. There's so much to learn, and I think life
हाँ
is our biggest teacher. We become better human beings and better actors
yeah.
eventually when we've experienced all those ups and downs in our lives. But yeah, to be directed by Aryan, it was a lot of fun. He's the youngest director I've worked with,
Yeah.
enthusiastic, so passionate about his work. And first is always very special, yeah. So it was
Mm.
Aryan's first, and he wanted to make sure that everything just lands into place and and goes by with, with what he has written and do it with full conviction. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. There was a whole different vibe on the set. There was a different energy on the set, which I have not experienced. So it was a first for me too. And then talking about Ajay Bhuyan, our director of Thode Door
Yeah,
Thode
Thode
Paas,
Door Thode Paas.
yeah, it was my first with him too. And he's such a chill director. He was just letting us be. He's like, "Pehle
Mhm.
तुम लोग कर लो, जो करना है. If I feel you're going slightly off track, then I will stop you. Otherwise, let us, just try to do
Yeah.
what you have in mind." So,
Yeah,
of
he was
course,
really, really wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah.
We used to rehearse lightly because the director was very particular about one thing, that not too many rehearsals, because everybody will get a little mechanical then. Then
Ah.
comedy also doesn't land on time. The timing goes for a toss. So yeah, slight light rehearsals. Also, Pankaj sir was around, so he kept
Huh.
pose. Yeah, there was a lot of learning throughout.
I was about to ask Kunal also this question. With Pankaj, Mr. Pankaj around, तो office याद आता है या कुछ भी याद आता है. His
Have you
Yeah, of
done
course.
different
office?
roles.
Yeah.
So how is
Absolutely.
it? Does it get intimidating because his comic timing lands perfectly. मतलब
Yeah.
you cannot go off. Even if he has a serious face, you know that he'll deliver.
No,
So
and the thing is that he generally has a serious face. Like
Yeah.
even when he's doing comedy, his face is still serious. Like it's all very straight, very deadpan. Like all through Office.
हाँ,
You just see a guy reacting. You just see a guy
हाँ,
reacting to this chaos. And that is, see, the impression of Pankaj sir is intimidating. The
hmm,
impression that you have is someone, but he's genuinely a very very sweet man, a very and someone who's very passionate about his craft and so very passionate about the work and about the scene. So all that that preconceived that feeling that you have intimidated that feeling of being intimidated, it melts away because you just see that he's an actor who's trying to solve problems on a set, trying to get a scene to work where everyone's discussing, and it just goes away, and then you're just working on a scene together, and it's fabulous. Um, so yeah, so that early impression that you have, that goes away very fast once you start
Yeah.
working with him.
yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for this lovely conversation and all the best. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sarika.
Thank you, Kunal. Thank you, Mona.